morning, friends. Welcome back to Sanita Makes Crochet Items. Just kidding. So, how was your weekend? Did you enjoy your Easter Sunday? So, I have a few things I want to kind of get a kickstart because Charlotte has taken over my life and I got things to do. So, Charlotte, just so FYI, today is technically the 14th day, so I've been working on her for 2 weeks. But I'm not going to touch her until later tonight because I got things to do, like I said. So we are here today, if you wonder, to work on, let me show you. Luck of the Draw 15, Mama Swift. So, just to recap, Luck of the Draw 15 has already been started, but I'm 2 weeks behind. And this week will technically be week 3. So, I gotta get a move on. So, here's the good thing. Luck of the Draw. Oh, sorry. I'm apologizing to Mama Swift. Your bag almost fell on the floor. Just kidding. The good thing is, the first 2 numbers that have been chosen, I kind of had partial projects started. So I am working on the beanies for Luck of the Draw 15. Only because I got 10 beanies that I promised to donate and I haven't started yet. Even though I've already gotten my hats for KK, which is for Bumblebee Mountain Outreach, done. I just have to ship them out. But this time around, the 10 hats are going to go to Nisi, Freehandly Made AU, and she's going to donate to her charity of choice. So, 5 and 5, I think she's got 10 places, or not 10. She's got a couple places she has in mind. So initially it was for Watson's, but honestly, Nisi, you send them wherever you need to go. Anyway, let's circle back. We are on week 1 of Luck of the Draw. Week 1, I'm not going to tell you the number because you need to go check out Mama Swift to figure it out. But for me, week 1 is eggplant. And look, like I said, they already had it started, so I'm so glad the numbers got chosen. So I'm gonna work on this one first. Now the crown, I worked it up in 5.5, but for the body of the hat, which I did my hand method, it is a little bit bigger, but it's okay. I'm gonna work on the body of the hat first, the crossing with kindness with the 6. And then try it on once it gets set right here and see if I have to move up a hook size or not, or maybe go back down, who knows. But I'm going to work on this with the crossing of kindness, only coming into 4 rows because I kind of want to perfect my beanie, which was okay with the autism hat that I made, but it's super cute. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It was a good cause, and in that video I did have description links to all the channels that I mentioned on that video. And so row 1 of this beanie is going to be the crossing. So you start off with skipping the first one, double crochet, extended single crochet in the previous extended, and then go back to the skip one and extended single in the front. There's a video tutorial for this too, so just follow that for the most part until we can. We're just gonna talk through the whole mapping or recipe of this beanie and see how it turns out. I'm up. It is what it is, girl. So I just go with the flow, guys. Go with the flow. I finished the crossing and did 2 extended single, as one would say, twins in a stitch. I don't know. But so the first setup row, which is this hat, is a 2-row repeat until you get to a certain point. So here is the first setup row, and I'm going to focus on working 3 more rows of the setup row. But we're going to go back to the crossing, and in order to go to the crossing, you have to, where the stitch marker is, go in between the twins. Technically after the setup row, row 1, which I did find my phone stand, and I was going to record just a snippet of how to do the crossing after the initial setup row, which I think is fun. But you basically see the 2 double crochet or 2 extended singles that you went into. You're gonna go in between the 2, and then you're gonna go back to the next or the previous 2 extended. Why do I keep saying double crochets? Maybe I should just make double crochets. But you're gonna go back into the 2 of the stitches here, but you're gonna go inside the extended single and just put an extended in there, and you repeat that. I'm gonna change the camera view so you can see, but don't mind the mess on this table because this is the best lighting I have, because it's right in front of the kitchen table. I'm embarrassing myself, but yeah, I'm gonna show you this, and then we'll go through row 2 of the hat, and you just repeat that until you get about 3 inches of the hat needed. Okay, so since I don't have a lot of space, I'm just gonna show you really quick the last few rows here and then show you. So this is initially row 1 of the beanie after you the setup row. So you have your 2 extended in between the cross, and then you have the previous extended singles. So you're gonna work in between these 2, and then you're gonna work into the last leg of the previous one. So we'll do it together real quick. Extend it, go in between the 2 V's with an extended, and then you jump back to the left V leg and do an extended. And just keep going until you get back to the stitch marker. Last one. All right, so that is row 1. And I'm gonna move the stitch marker up to this stitch. So for row 2, you have your cross here, which is in between the V and then back to the leg of the left leg. So basically what I like to do real quick is just to slide under that left leg and put 2 extended singles in that stitch. But it's skip, because this is the one that you're going to work back into in the next row. So technically you skip 1 and then put 2 in here. But it's easier for me to focus when I just slide under the actual stitch. So this is the crossing with kindness row 2. So if you want to follow the video tutorial, I'll drop the link to it, but basically it's the same thing. Oh, sorry. So you just repeat row 1 and 2 until you get to about 3 inches. Or less, whichever you prefer. Just remember to put 2 because I've done a couple beanies where I missed it and only put 1 and then had to improvise. But that's the great thing about crochet is you make a mistake, you either got 2 choices, frog it and do it the right way, or just figure it out and keep going, especially if you have to frog a lot, but that's just me. Okay, so you get the gist of it. So I showed you how to do row 1 of the body. This is your row 2, and you just repeat 1 and 2, 1 and 2 until it's about 3 inches long. This is the easy part because you just put in the same stitch, 2 in the same stitch. See how I like to go in between the stitch versus on top. That way it's not as holy. My initial thought is to do 3 rows of row 1 and 2, not including the setup row. So I will see you guys when I get done with week 1 of Luck of the Draw 15 in eggplant. Alright, I made it to my my second repeat. So I'm about to start the third one. But what I like to do is just basically, my lunch is ready. What I like to do is measure it up against my hand, and so it's almost to where I need it to be, but I always like to try it on first just to see how it's gonna be. Don't mind the hair. So that's roughly about where I want to do it. So definitely a setup and then 3 rows of 1 and 2, 1 and 2. It's gonna be where I want it to be. Now, of course, this is still super small and I don't want it to be slouchy. So the next step is to do 1 more row of the crossing with kindness, which is going to be the crossing going in between the twins and then going back to the left leg of the previous twins. So do that for row 1 and then repeat row 2, which is the twins. And then at that point we're gonna stop and do half double crochets in each extended single to get the camo stitch going, so we can break it up between the crossing and the B stitch by Brianna K. And then we'll go back to doing I'll just tell you when I get there because it's almost 1 o'clock. The crossing stitch, and let's try it on one more time. Yeah, very nice. So the next row is inside, so you should have ended on the 2 extended singles. So row 2 of the crossing stitch. So next thing you're gonna do to start or continue the beanie crossing with kindness beanie is, and if you think that your eyes are tricking you, it's not. This is the, so it was the Premier Ombre worsted value, and this is pretty much where I want it to be in regards to where the beanie is, but we're gonna add about 4 more inches to this hat. So the next row you're gonna do is half double crochets in each extended single, and I'm gonna actually change the camera again and show you how to do the first couple, and then you keep going until you get to the end of that row. So I didn't really calculate how many rows I'm at so far. So technically, if I did the setup row, which is 2 rows, and then 3 of the repeat rows, then that's 6 rows altogether. All right, I was a chatterbox, but we started off with 6 extended singles on this one because I didn't do the button, but 6 extended singles, and we increased all the way until we got to 10 rows, which is 60 count. And then I started with a row of extended single in each stitch, and then going in the front post. So that was 11 rows, row 11, and then we started this setup, which was row 12 and 13, and then we went to the repeat rows, which is 1 and 2, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we're at row 21 currently. So then you're gonna go to row 22, which you're just gonna keep going in the round. And I'm gonna show you how to do that. So you should have ended with row repeat 2, which is, sorry, I gotta plug my phone in before it dies on me. All right, so sorry, it's a hot mess. So what you're gonna do is basically half double crochets in each stitch. So yarn over, go into the extended, so that's 1 half double. Just repeat that in each stitch, and at the end of this row you should have 60, and then this will be the last stitch, and then I'll meet you back. I'm coming towards the end of the row. So you just go and put a half double in each extended single, and at the end of this row you should have 60 half double crochets. I missed a stitch. Go into the leg of the extended single. See? Okay, so you've made it back to the stitch marker, and you see this big old hole. Don't worry, we're gonna make it disappear. So now what you're gonna do, that was the half double crochet rows. We're gonna work on the 3rd loop of the stitch, which is this one back here. But because there's a big old hole, we're gonna grab the 3rd loop and the loop below, right there. We're gonna put 2 single crochets in that stitch. So now we're technically starting the B stitch. Okay, so 2 in that first stitch, we're gonna skip this one, and 2 in the next, and just repeat that all the way around until you get back to the stitch marker, which the last stitch that you work on, which should be this one, we're going to skip that one. So I will meet you when I am done with this row. I forgot what row we're on already. We'll figure it out together. Coming to the last stitch. So remember, it should have 3 stitches, and we're skipping 1 and 2 singles in the last, or the next, I should say. And at the end of this row, you should have 60 stitches still. All right, so now the B stitch, for my understanding, is you always have to start with an even number of stitches, and then you're going to go to basically 2 single crochets in the first stitch, skip 1, and just repeat that all the way around. So now that we're back to the stitch marker, we're going to go ahead and start row 2. It's a 2-row repeat, so you always do the 2 singles and then skip 1 for row 1. So for row 2 of the B stitch, we're going to go into, see the 2 single crochets, the last single crochet of that first one, we're just going to go into the front leg, or the left leg I should say, and then you're going to go into the stitch that you skipped previously. Kind of have to turn it over and look. So you have that leg on this stitch, and then you're going to go into the 3rd loop of the previous stitch. It's kind of confusing, but you just be careful, go slow. There's no rush. And if you have to, kind of flip it back and forth and see. So we went through these 2 stitches here, and if you kind of pop it, you'll see this stitch here is the next one. See there? You're gonna just do 2 single crochets. So go through that stitch and this stitch, the leg, and single, and just kind of repeat that. All right, so then you're gonna skip this first V, or the first single crochets, go into the leg of that one and dip it back down and go into that stitch there. Oh. And go into that stitch there and single crochet 2. So you kind of go up the leg, 1, go through the leg again, and go back down to that stitch that you just came out of. It's a little confusing, but just go slow and you can get it. So basically, you start off with the camo stitch, and then you're going to do row 1 and then row 2. Just do that 2 more times. And I'll meet you back at the end of row 2 of the B stitch. Okay, so row 2, the B stitch got a little tight. I was using the 6mm, but for row 1, like Jack said, go loose with your single crochets. Otherwise, it's gonna be too tight. Now, do you think I would have frogged it and redid it? No, we're already on the next row. So I just went down a hook size. It's a lot easier to go through. So just make sure that you are going in the left leg of the 2nd single crochets. Pull up a loop, go in, pull up a loop on the 3rd loop of the half double crochets of the previous row. It's simple. Like, explaining it's simple, but doing it takes a little practice. So I'm going to try to show you again. I'm still on row 2 of this V stitch. So, and like I said earlier, I had to go down to a 5.5 from the 6 because I went a little too tight on the 2 single crochets. So you have the 2 single crochets here. We're going to skip this one, go to this one, but instead of going here, you're going to go into that leg. Like so. And then you're going to just dip down to the 3rd stitch, like that. Pull it up like that. So we're doing single crochets. So yarn over and pull through 2. And since you go to the first one, it's a little bit easier because you're just following the stitches. Like so. So 2 single crochets in that stitch. Let's do one more. You're looking here, the 2 V's. This is your leg. Sorry, my nails are dirty. I had hot Cheetos. All right. Just pick it up and then you just tip it over. This is your stitch there. Or you can just look at this V here and just go boop. Okay, did I miss it? No, go straight down here. Pull up a loop and go through the left leg. Pull it up just a little bit and yarn over and go through 2. And you just follow it. Because you've already pulled that 3rd loop up, so you just keep going. So there you go. Couple more times. There's your leg. You can just scoot down to this stitch here. See how you pulled up that 3rd loop right there? Just keep following it. So here's your left leg. Here's your stitch here. Just gonna tip it over, pull up that 3rd loop. See how it's up already? Gonna yarn over and go through that left leg of that 2 single crochets. 1, and just follow it down because you've already pulled it up. And 2. Again, do that loose, but you guys get it. I still have all this to go through. Now, because I went down to hook size, it most likely is gonna cinch it in. So we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do 1 row because I like the V stitch, but it's a little complicated. So we're gonna do 1 row of V stitch and then we're gonna do the half doubles again. But I'll show you that when I get there because this might take me a while. Almost there to the end and you guys are probably like, come on woman, get over it. So go in that left leg and automatically, because you have this big hole here, this is the stitch you already went into. Pick up that left leg and go straight down to this stitch here. And it's easier just to go like this because you're automatically grabbing that 3rd loop. But make sure you go in the left leg, yarn over, go to 2, and then just follow that back down. Make sure you pull it up. That's how you keep it loose. And to be honest, I kind of want to do 1 more row, but I'm going to go back to the 6 for this, but since I'm suffering through this, I want you to see the pain I'm going through. So I picked up that leg. Here's the stitch that we skipped, and you can see the V there and then the loop there. You're just gonna go in between the V, under that third leg, swoop it up, and yarn over, and just follow that left leg. It gets easier, like I said, but you just have to get used to it. But here's that big hole, because that's the 2 single crochets. Go into that leg. If you have to pick it up, and then find the V and just swoop it under, because you're going through that third leg. Yarn over. Do it one more time. Okay. And we got 1, 2, 3 more stitches. You can do it, guys. Left leg, V underneath, 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Left leg, Z, V, V. I was super tight on this one. I'm sorry, guys. You're probably like, come on, get it together, Sanita. I'm trying, guys. Okay, you slide it there, and you're gonna just swing your hook down to this V. There's the 2 V's. Swoop it under. You automatically grab that third loop, see? Single crochet. You just gotta twist and shove, rock it all about. So that's 1 single crochet, and this is the easier part because now you went through it already. Just go back in that hole. And last stitch. You can do it. Remember, we skipped this one. There's the leg. There's the stitch. 1 and 2. All right, guys. So there is your B stitch. Now, this is the head so far. Honestly, that's barely 1 inch, half an inch, I think. So I'm gonna try to do it again, 1 more row, the B stitch for another set. We're gonna go with the 6 this time. This time it'll be a lot easier because you're not having to fight with the third loop of the half double crochet row. So now you're just going to follow it through. So you have your 2 singles here, and then you skip that stitch there. So just go into the next stitch, 2 single crochets, 1, 2. Skip 1, next one. Make sure you go through both loops, 1 and 2. And remember, the second single crochet, just make sure you go loosey-goosey, like such. Skip 1, go to next, 1, 2. Skip 1, 1, 2. Okay, so at this point we've gone rogue from the actual B stitch. So just to make it easier for you and me, we're just gonna repeat the row 1 of the B stitch, and then we'll repeat row 2. But I think the initial stitch was to go through the left leg. So we went to 2 here, skip 1, 1, and that left leg, we're just going to pull it up a little longer. And make sure I skip 1, 2 singles, skip 1, 2 singles. At this point, I mean, you could start counting to make sure you're still at 60 stitches. But just trust the process. I'm sure you'll get there. I'm going to keep going till I get back to the stitch marker. So I'm at the last stitch. Well, you have 1 here you skip. You're going to put 2 single crochets in that stitch. And 2. So now you got 1 that you skip. The next thing you're going to go is to row 2 of the B stitch. This is where you go into that left leg. I'm going to move my stitch marker up. You're going to find the 2 single crochets that you just did. Remember, this is the one you skipped. These are the 2 single crochets. You're going to go into the left leg of the single crochet and jump straight down to that one you skipped. Pull up a loop. Oops. Don't drop your stitch. Left leg, skip stitch. This is the skip stitch, remember. Skip stitch, go in. 1, 2. Left leg, skip stitch, 1, 2. Make sense? Left leg, skip stitch, 2 single crochets. Okay, and you can just repeat that all the way until you get back to this skip stitch, which is this last V here, the last leg, and you're gonna go put 2 single crochets in that skip stitch that you initially did. Much easier, if I say so myself. I'll meet you at the end of this row, and then we'll go ahead and work on the brim. I just wanted to say that this has gone a lot smoother since I started the second row of the B stitch, but definitely that was what I intended, at least 2 rows of the B stitch, but that first row is always the hardest. So finish row 2 of the second B stitch, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to start the brim, which is a lot easier. And then I'm gonna try this on too, just to see if I should do another set or what. Always try your hats on as you go, especially if you're making it for yourself, but try them on as I go. And I got 4 more stitches, so let's get the show on the road. 2 more stitches. 1, 2. 3, and 4. Okay, so that is the end of row 2 of the B stitch, the second repeat. Let's try it on. Just put the stitch marker there so I don't lose it. Look at the texture on that. I love it. All right. Yeah. All right, so we finished our 4 rows of B stitch, and then we're gonna finish it off with a half double crochet row, but I'm gonna go back down to this size, which is a 5.5. And all you're gonna do, super easy, half double crochet in each stitch. Just go all the way around until you get back to the stitch marker. All right, I'm almost to the end of the half double crochet rows, and then the next row is technically when the brim starts. All right, so we're gonna move the stitch marker one last time onto the stitch that's on the hook. Now for the next row, and at this point, if you want to measure it, you can. This is clearly from palm to top of the finger is where it should be, and this is most likely the brim. Most of my brims are about 4 inches long, but it's gonna be the half double camo stitch, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of B stitch, and then the next row is 1 row of half double. So technically the brim starts with extended singles. We're going back to my favorite stitch, guys. So what you're gonna do is remember the struggle we had, and don't mind the dog here. I have huskies, guys, if you didn't know. And I do wash all of my donation hats before I send it out. But 3rd row of each stitch, extended single, and remember the first one I always go through the 3rd loop and the loop below. Extended. So 1, 2, and at this point when I get to here is when I want to count. So make sure I still have 60 stitches. So in the 3rd loop, extended single all the way around till you get back to the stitch marker. But at the end of this row, you should have 60. If you don't, make it work. Remember to go in the 3rd loop of the half double crochet. With extended singles. Okay. 59 and 60. So I have 60 extended singles in the 3rd loop of this brim. All right, so now at this point you're going to decide what you want to do in regards to how you want your brim. You can do 1 by 1, 2 by 2, or 2 by 3, however you want. Because you have 60 stitches, divide it by how you want. You want to divide by 5, divide by 2, divide by 3. Whatever floats your boat, you do that. But I'm going to go with, let's go with a 2 by 3. We're going to by 5. So you're going to, the next row of this particular head, I'm going to do 2 extended in the next 2 stitches. Remember, when I do extended singles, it's always going to be either inside the extended single or we're going to do a front post extended single. But it's always extended singles. So the first 2 extended singles, you're going to go inside the stitch. 1, the next extended single inside the stitch, 2. And then for the next 3 stitches, you're going to do a front post. Now, because it's extended singles, there's like extra loops. Always pick up all 3 and then do an extended. That's how I like to do it. It just makes it look cleaner. But again, it's your head. You do what you want. So that's 2 by 3 brim. Extended in extended. In the next 2 stitches. And then in the next 3 stitches, we're going to do a front post extended single. Three. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around. At the end of this row, you should have 3 front post extended singles. And then you're going to repeat that another 2 more times. So this is row 2 of the brim. So you're going to repeat row 2 more times. So you're going to have 4 rows altogether of the brim. Row 3. So we did extended singles initially, and then we did front posts. Extended and extended, then 3 front posts. And I think at the end of this row, I'm going to go ahead and finish it off because just looking at this is already about 4 inches. So I don't want it to be too long. But again, it's your size preference. So just go with what you think it should be. At the end of this row, we're going to do 1 more row, repeating the extended and extended, but instead of extended, we're going to do single crochets. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So keep going until you finish this row, and then we'll come back and finish the final row. We have made it to the last and final row of this particular beanie. Look how fun that looks. The texture is nice. I like it a lot. Okay, so we're going to, and I did move up to a 5 to make it a little bit cleaner and nicer. You're going to do a single crochet in the extended, and then a single front post in each extended front post. And repeat that all the way around until you get to the stitch marker and then fasten off. So, 2. I'll leave you guys to it. you guys know what to do. 2 single crochets in the extended and 3 front post single crochets in the front post extended singles. And then I will meet you to give you my final count of this beanie. Welcome back, and we have completed this beanie crossing with kindness. Beanie, whatever. So basically, I'm just sewing in this last tail that I have, and basically it's done. Week 14, luck of the draw 15, week 1, you are officially done. That rhymed. Alright, so here is crossing with kindness beanie. So basically, long story short, this took me all day, but then again, I wasn't focused consistently. I had things to do. So let's go ahead and try it on and get this dog hair out. This is perfect. I love it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. So this is initially what I envisioned, but I couldn't get it together. So now I did. And so thank you guys for hanging around. And are you still here from way back when? This is a pretty long video. So with that being said, luck of the draw 15. I'm going to do a hidden giveaway. So if you would like to participate, first of all, you had to have watched this whole video to know there's a hidden giveaway. Surprise. So 2 things I need you to answer. 1, are you doing luck of the draw? Any luck of the draw? Whatever it is, if you are, leave me a comment. And if you aren't, still leave me a comment and let me know that you watched till the end. Let me give you a secret word. I'm going to show you the prize. Once I pick the winner of this luck of the draw, this is what I want you to put in the comments. Actually, I'm not going to open it, but what it is pertaining to luck of the draw, and it is from Laser Llama Boutique. But what I want you to tell me in the comment, 1, if you're doing luck of the draw, but if you're not and you're still interested in this little gift, tell me what color this tissue paper is in the comment. And we'll pick a winner once I complete luck of the draw 15, week 3. So you have a whole week, maybe 2 weeks to complete. You have to be 18 or older and leave me the color of this tissue paper if you would like to have this. And it comes with this, and also, so everything inside this box is yours. Once I complete luck of the draw 15, week 3 beanie, and it's probably going to be all the crossing with kindness beanie. Once I complete week 3, I will draw a winner from this video. Probably either live or on a video. We'll do a wheel, depending on if anybody's interested. I don't blame you if you're not. Some of you guys might not like that color of that tissue paper, but that's okay. It's just paper. Burn it. Do what you want, but what's inside is what matters. Thank you again for watching. As always, love yourself so you can love everyone else. Week 1, luck of the draw.